Hello friends, and welcome to part 3 of this vintage reissue Fender refret 62 reissue. Now this is part 3 of the video, and I was meant to be starting off with me levelling the frets, but I levelled the frets last night and it wasn't really that difficult because I've got the neck back onto the piece of MDF and I just marked up all the frets in marker pen, blue at each end because they didn't really want to be touched, and any areas that were too high I did in red pen and all the rest in black. And what I did was the ones in red pen I went over with a flat file, brought them down until they were very, very close, then I went over with the levelling beam. Firstly went over with 240 grit to remove the excess material, and once I'd got them all reasonably level, covered them in all in pen again, I went over with a 400 grit till the pen was being removed from every fret. Just took a few strokes just to remove all of the pen, and it went very well. And now you will see that the frets have been levelled. We removed hardly any material, probably 1/10 of a millimetre off some of them, if that. So the frets are still a good millimetre high. You can see where we are there. I do apologise for the light in here. It's early in the morning, it's just gone 7 AM. There's no light outside at the moment. Well, there's a bit, but not anything that's going to come in. And I've only got a 120 watt bulb up there. I can't get any brighter than that. I used to have 150s, but I can't seem to get them anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera on the neck. I'm going to go across with a fret rocker. I'll bring it quite close to the camera. I'm going to go across with fret rocker and just show that the frets are level. Let me go back there. And there you go, and you'll be listening for fret rocker, best one, precision one, this one, ground flat. I'm going to go across all the frets in 3 areas: centre, this side and that side, and we're going to listen for a rock anyway. I guarantee you're not going to get any rock anyway because I've checked them again this morning. I've checked these a couple of times. This refret's gone really well, but the biggest problem I had was repairing my chips, because I took the frets out from the top. I should have taken them out sideways. In future I'm going to take them out sideways. You know, I've discovered a way to do it without creating any mess. But none of these frets are rocking. Now there are a couple that had a little bit more material removed than others. That's because even though they did sit right, you always get 1 or 2 that are going to be a little bit, sometimes a little bit temperamental. Now these were epoxied in, so they're not going to go anywhere. 18% nickel silver fret wire. It's going to last, if it doesn't last 10-15 years, there's something wrong in there. And you'll get another fret level out of this at least. You should get 20, 25, 30 years out of this fret wire. Depends how much you play the guitar. So that is the fingerboard, but as the frets, absolutely level with each other. Now what remains to be done is, I need to put that crown back in. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to use 2 files. And I've got my 3H file, brand new one, this one. I bought this from Guitars and Woods in Portugal. It's got 1 flat side and 2 angled sides, and these angled sides are what we use to create the crown, because the fret is now flat and we need to put that crown back in, that curve. So we're going to remove the edges, and what we do is, quite easily, just take a marker pen. We'll start with this one, the most difficult one, because it's had a lot of material removed, and all we're going to do is, I need a cloth. This one will do okay for now. File's been cleaned, it's been brushed, and what we're going to do is we're going to remove the edges of this until we've got a thin line down the centre, probably 0.5 millimetre. So I've shown this thousands of times. See that angle of the fret there is what's going to cut in. So we're going to put that curve back in, and what we do is, as we come across, we roll over, we roll that way, and we're going to make a thinner line. Now to watch this, because this file does slip like that. I've only been up a few minutes. And there you go. I don't know if you can see that on camera, you probably can. There's a thin line down the centre of that fret now. And to finish off, I'll take this file has got the right curve in there for it. It's got 3mm side and 2.5mm side. I'll go over with the 3mm. Always cleaning my file, always removing my grits, filings. Same again with that. Then I'll go across on the 2.5mm side. And that is that one fret done. I'll feel it. If I need to come in and shape these edges again, I will do. Normally this is enough. I will finish off, I've got a diamond file which I'll finish off with. I'll get all the frets done first, and once that's done I'll get my diamond file out. I'm not even sure what grit this is. I think it's 300 grit. This is diamond file for doing the same thing, and I always finish off with this. It removes the finest amount, but it's still it's a great profiling. On this one, it's one of those. That's beautiful. You clean this one after every fret. Two things you do: take a wet area, wipe. You take a dry area and wipe, and then you move on to the next fret. So 3 files I'll be using. This one to get the main shape, this one to get the main profile, and this one to get the finishing profile. So I'll be doing that to all of the frets. That one's beautiful. All that remains to be done with this now is I need to just take these burrs off these edges, but I'll do all this when I come to the polishing. I'll polish all these burrs off. That's one done. Obviously 21, 22, well 21 left to do, I believe. So I'm going to crack on with that. Stay tuned and I'll show you the result shortly. Right, I'm going to just work a little while, just show, because I've got this many done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, got 8 frets done. So obviously got 3, 6, 9, 13 left to do. I'm going to work a little while and show you how I work. I've got all my files cleaned. I've already explained how I recrown my frets. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work. Maybe I'll talk, maybe I won't. But what I always do is clean my file before I use it. Got a little bit of music in the background. I've got my worship list up. I normally have this on throughout the day, just let it go on loop. It's brilliant. There's nothing worse than working in silence, is there? So anyway, I'm going to crack on. Use my 3-sided file. I'm going to just do a couple of frets and you're going to watch. It'll give you some idea. I've already explained, like I said, if I zoom in a little. In fact, this is good enough. It's all about getting that pen line really thin down the centre, because that then gives us that crown. We want minimal contact with the string on the fret. You'll see me rolling in and over as I move the file. Clean the file always. And there you go, got a thin pen line down there. We're always looking for this semicircle as well on the edge. If we haven't quite got that, we go in again and we just tidy up the edges. And on the other side I'll check later when I turn the board around. 3mm side. Already cleaned this file. To follow when you hear that swishing, it's me cleaning the file. Wet side, dry side. Always go back one first, check for level, then to the one you've just done. Keeping that unit so we know we're keeping level all the way across. 3, 6, 9, 10, what 10 on there? I'll do one more. I have a rag there just for cleaning this file. And there you go, you see better now. You'll notice some silver up quite quick. It's because some need less crowning than others, because I've not actually removed a lot of material on most of them. I'm hoping you can see with that camera angle. So that didn't need much work at all to get that line there. Horizontal. You'll notice I'm going to then arc the file over that way as I come in. So see now, I'm turning it over now. And the reason this file's so good is these edges are ground flat. So when we do arc over, we're not going to dig into the tape or into the fingerboard. The tape is just a precaution. Chances are I'm not going to dig into it anyway, but if I do slip, we can put lines in the fingerboard and we don't need that. I do clean this after every use, so I don't have to clean it before. should be clean every time I pick it up. It's a good idea to blow filings away before you flip it over and do the 2.5mm side as well. Wet side, dry. Always clean your files. Beautiful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 10 left to do. I'm going to crack on with that now. You've got a good idea of how I do the work. You can whiz through these once you get familiar with how it all works. Now I'm going from this side at the moment. What I'm going to do is, once these are all done, I'm going to turn it round and just check these edges that we've got that proper semicircle, so we've got the same uniform shape, because I can see this side no problem, and I can see we've got a perfect semicircle on each fret, but I can't see that side. It normally is there or thereabouts, but I'll check that anyway. Once I've got all these finished, I'll do 180 degree that. So I'm going to crack on with these and get these finished. I will come back when we are ready for polishing. Right, back, and that is all of the fret recrowning or fret crowning done. Frets are all beautifully crowned. All the edges, we've got a lovely little semicircle on each edge of each fret there. Both sides. I've been across again, make sure we're still all level. We are level. I've even been across with my profiling file, the diamond cut one. So the frets are profiled beautifully. All that remains to be done now is need to get them all polished up, and polishing, I'll be going across with various grits of sandpaper. I will start with 800 grit, and I'll go through the grades. I'll go through, where are we? We'll go through with 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000, and we'll finish off with 2500. So loads of different grits of paper there. It'll have about 6 different polishers. We'll go that way, then we'll turn around and we'll go that way, and I will eventually finish off with finest grade steel wool. Get them all highly polished, get all the scratches out of there. Absolutely beautiful. So that's all remains to be done. Polishing, then we can get the neck back on, get some strings on my guitar, get it set back up. I am going to leave this alone now until Monday, because I've got some other jobs I want to be getting on with, electrical work. I've got 2 guitars where I'm doing electrical work, and I'd like to get that done today. So this can be left till Monday. I already told Mike polishing will be done Monday anyway. So this will be first job on the go Monday morning. We'll have that done by Monday afternoon. So I'm going to move on to something else. So stay tuned again. I'll be back shortly once these are all polished up, and we've got the we'll get the neck back on the guitar, get some strings on there, get it set up. Bob's your uncle. Have a good weekend. See you soon. Welcome back. And as promised for Monday, the frets are now all highly polished. Let's have a little zoom in there, close up. What a beautiful job. Really pleased with how that's come out. So all that remains to be done now is I'm going to remove the tape, have a look at the fingerboard. If there's any excess glue on there, we'll get rid of all that. We'll oil the fingerboard, and we will move on to the next part of the process, which is installing a nut. Now I've not decided whether I'm going to go for a bone nut. Might be a little bit thin. Got some bone nuts here, pre-cut, pre-slotted, but I'll end up filing all them slots out anyway and redoing it anyway. Or I might just go with the regular Fender cycleback, the ones I normally use. I basically have to cut these from scratch. They're completely blank. We've got no slots in there, no cuts. I normally use these on Mike's guitars. Genuine Fender parts. Cycleback is a man-made substance. Retail for a few quid a piece. Not too expensive. So I don't know yet. Strings, we're going with a 942 set Ernie balls, which Mike has already included. So I'm going to crack on with it. Get the tape off, get the fingerboard all cleaned up, and we'll get the guitar set up and we'll come back shortly. Quick update, now I've got the tape off and the neck looks brilliant. I've decided we are going with a bone nut. Why are we going with a bone nut? Well, it fits. I've hammered that in, I have not glued it in at all, and it is going nowhere. It's really, really tight. Look at the fit, absolutely perfect. Both sides. So that's the nut that's in. It doesn't even need, I mean, it doesn't even need shaping at the edges. It just needs me to just cut the grooves on the top and cut the right height. So, nut has been chosen for us. I seem to have misplaced the string tree. I'm sure it'll be in the case somewhere. I'll go and have a look for that in a moment. The Cyclovac nuts, the proper Fender gubbins, one of these, was slightly too narrow. This is 3mm. I know for a fact that this is round about a 3.4mm slot. I did actually go and buy a nut for this. We've got one in there now, bone nut, which is absolutely fine. Don't even need to glue it. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get the neck back on the guitar. You see I've cleaned up all the fret areas. I've oiled the fingerboard. Just some mineral oil. That is ready to go back on the guitar. So I'm going to crack out my guitar, see if I can find my string tree. If not, I'll have one knocking about somewhere. Next time you see this guitar, we will have the neck on the body. Possibly we'll even have the strings on, maybe just loosely, just to get the nut, you know, so we can position the nut properly. So stay tuned. Welcome back, friends. I apologise for the noise of the engine. It's someone's parked up outside and they've decided we're not going to move just yet. Anyway, that aside, let's ignore that. You'll see we have the 62 Reissue Telecaster clamped up, well, just in the vise. We are putting on a new nut, and there you go, nice and close there. And you'll be looking at it and thinking, oh, that's a nice shape and all that. Well, it is a nice shape because I've cut it. I got it placed in there, I filed it down, and I've gone through with my Hosco fret files. Now, a lot of people say, oh, these aren't worth the money. Let me tell you, these cost me 75 quid. These are worth every penny. You've got three different sizes. You've got 1026 there, you've got 1336 there, and you've got a 1746 there. So you can do from 10 to 46 set. You can also do a 9 to 42 set with a little bit of play in there. That's why I bought the electric ones. These cost me 75 quid. They're worth their weight. They're absolutely brilliant. They're super sharp, really easy to use. Once I've got a black nut in there and I've got marked out where I need to cut the slots, I cut the slots and I get the right size. For instance, that's a 10, like so, and I will slightly angle it back towards the break angle. So where the string comes straight, I'll then angle over and come down to the string tree and whatever. And I'll do the same for each string, so it doesn't sit flat. It actually angles back a little before it gets down to the tuner. That may be cut a little bit high. I guess normally looking at it, I think that maybe is a little bit high. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some strings on, and I'm going to see how much higher we are. So, and I'd imagine I've probably got to dress that just a little bit more, but that might just be perfect where it is. Nut's gone on beautifully. Well, I've not even glued this nut in, it's that tight a fit. It's a bone nut, and it looks the part. And once that's done, once you've got some strings on, just need to do the setup and we're finished. So I will come back when I've finished. And here we are, all finished. And what can I tell you? What do you reckon? Fender Telecaster 62 Vintage Reissue. What a beautiful looking instrument this is. It's had a complete fret job. The best fret job I've done this is on a Telecaster or Strat, where I've not even had to repair anything on the side. If you want to just have a look at that. He's gone with Hosco Super Jumbo fret wire, which is 3mm wide by 1.2 high, something like that. There's the frets if you want to have a look. Finished cutting the nut. I've cut it quite low compared to how I saw it earlier. Absolutely beautiful. Let's just come in on that and have a look. I see how low everything is there. Mike loves the way I cut nuts because I leave half the strings sticking out at the top and they're just barely in on the high strings, should I say, and on the lower strings they're half and half. Guitar is absolutely beautiful. I'll just show the back. I know this is Mike's favourite guitar, so I really wanted to do a good job on this. It's had the full bit. Not only has it had a refret, I actually skimmed, when I took the old frets out, I had a lot of chipping because I pulled them out from the top, and I should have knocked them out sideways, and I'll know that for the future. I'll check them sideways next time. So I had a lot of chipping repairs to fix, but I did fix them, and I think you'll agree. Look at the fingerboard. It looks immaculate. You wouldn't know anything had been filled on there. So I'm really, really proud of this one. This is the best, definitely the best Strat or best Fender refret I think I've done, because I've not had to go and get the edges sprayed or anything, which makes things a lot easier. What else has been done? I've checked all the electrics. These knobs were spinning around. I've had them out, checked all the wire and everything, tightened these knobs up. They're fine now, not spinning. I did notice there's an indentation in the pickup, and I know why. It's because someone altered the truss rod with the, we just moved a scratch plate back, left the pickup in. I've altered the truss rod. It's virtually slack, but I've got a tiny bit of relief in there. The action's bang on. I've lost my string action gauge. I don't know where it is. I had it yesterday. I looked everywhere. So I've had to fashion two thickness gauges. That's 1.8 and that's 1.5. You've got 4 business cards here, 5 business cards here. 1.8, 1.5. And that's how I did the low E, 1.8 above the 12th fret, 1.5 on the IE. I've got the action as good as I can. I've set the radius to round about 9.5, even though it's a 7.25 radius neck. We always set the radius on the bridge to about 9.5. We're just about there. There's no string buzz anywhere. The guitar plays great. It looks fantastic. So that is this one finished. Really, really pleased with how that one's come out. Looks fantastic. I can see why it's Mike's favourite guitar. Brand new bone nut on there. Hand cut. I did that this afternoon. The vintage tuners, the originals, I always put them on in exactly the same order they come off. I mark them all up, put a bit of tape on the back saying which one it is. So they've gone back exactly as they came off. The string tree was in the bag with the tuners, which was in the guitar case itself. I've even tightened up the strap pins there, and that's it. This is ready to go. I did get there's one little nick in this end just under this low E string when I was carving the knot, and I've just dinged in there. Mike is not going to be bothered about that, because Mike said if I take anything out the edge there, don't worry about it. He says he'll spray it all up himself. Mike's got the knowledge and the gear to re-lacquer his own necks and things, so I know he's absolutely not going to be bothered with that. Strings on there are Ernie Ball 942s as standard. I've plugged the guitar in, made sure all the electrics are working absolutely fine, which they are. So there you go. Vintage reissue, 62 vintage reissue Telecaster by Fender, mint green or pea green scratch plate there. It looks absolutely amazing. What a beautiful colour this is. It's like a metallic turquoise, isn't it? You probably can't see the metallic in it, but it's just beautiful. So what a lovely guitar. So that's one done. I'm going to get in touch with Mike, let him know his guitar's ready to pick up. He'll fly straight down, pick it up, and I'm sure he's going to drop me, in fact I know he's going to drop me another one off, maybe even 2 or 3. And I'm definitely doing one refret. There's a couple of others he wants looking at. He wants a nut fitting on one, and he wants a bit of fret work on, was it a Jackson he talks about, or was it his Ibanez, not sure, or one of his Ibanez's. So that is it. This project is wrapped up. So all I can say is, it's been a great job, this one. Really enjoyed it. All I can say is, until next time, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.